Thank you for joining us today for our latest webinar. Today's title is Unlocking the Power of TaxBuzz.com. We're excited to talk about our relaunch. We've been working about 6 months on completely revamping the TaxBuzz community and the tool and kind of the ways we provide opportunities for our tax and accounting professionals to get found, find new clients, and basically build up their thought leadership. I am Lee Reams. I'm the founder and CEO of CountingWorks, and today I am joined by Rebecca Barton. Rebecca, if you can introduce yourself.
Yeah, hi everybody. I am the Chief Visibility Officer for CountingWorks. I'm so excited to talk about TaxBuzz with you today. It's a great platform.
All right, so today's agenda, we're going to do TaxBuzz 101, basically kind of the cliff notes of what it is and how to use it. Then we're going to go over the benefits of TaxBuzz, including the networking and brand awareness, thought leadership and public relations, and using it as an AI tool. And then we'll talk about getting started. So while this is a VIP workshop, we may have people that watch this are new to TaxBuzz and perhaps are not part of our VIP program, but we're going to start with kind of a one-on-one of what TaxBuzz is all about, and then we'll talk about some of the features that you guys can utilize. So what is TaxBuzz.com? TaxBuzz is a community of tax and accounting experts that aims to connect consumers with the best tax or accounting professionals. So we are different than what I would call a Yelp or a lot of the social sites that are out there today, because our customer is you. We are trying to benefit the tax and accounting space. And the reason we do this is we believe at our core that consumers, business owners, high earners that get high-end tax and accounting advice will see better financial outcomes. And I think even where we say here on the homepage, where you go for accounting and tax expertise, we're really trying to position TaxBuzz not just as a directory like Yelp, but also as a content site where thought leaders can share their expertise, write about topics that are not normally covered in other websites, and really differentiate your brand. So let's talk about it a little bit more. We do have a ability, and the idea is that we want to showcase our 5-star rated pros, right? So clients who are already working with CountingWorks Pro know that we are big into reputation management. We're big into building really solid 5-star profiles for you. We work with 2 brands to start. We believe Google Business in a combination with TaxBuzz will basically on the search results be your website #1, TaxBuzz and Google Business #2, 3. And with that, you're going to start pushing any, I would say, unrelated media properties down the search results. And what this does is when someone is referred to you and they Google your name, they're going to see glowing reviews about you from your current clients, right? And we always say that your clients provide the best sales material you could ever, they tell your story better than anyone else can. And this really will help kind of reinforce pre-sell a referral source. And if this is someone Googling in areas, you're also going to rank higher, things like that. So what we do is we have a filtering tool. So the more details you put on your profile, the more opportunities you have. So basically what we're trying to do is create a database basically that helps consumers find what they're looking for as well. So if they're looking for someone who specializes in expats and they live in Israel right now, we want to have that kind of detail on your profile, and it's going to make it much easier for them to match. So what we have is what we call Find a Pro, but basically it's our Match Me program. And the consumer will fill out some basic information, kind of geography, and then they'll be able to filter down on location, niche, other factors, and then we'll start matching the results based on that. Our ranking algorithm is based on a number of factors, and you can't buy your way to the top, but being a customer of ours definitely does assist you in being highlighted through the search results. So a little bit about TaxBuzz stats. We have a little over 650,000 professionals actually across the world. There are people not just in the US. We get approximately 2 million views annually with syndicated exposure to millions more. So we have tools. And let's just talk about that real quick, Rebecca. Content that we create and our opportunities and our Get Quoted and our PR opportunities, news articles, we do push those through things like Google News, Newsbreak. So Newsbreak specifically, kind of explains some of the traffic and how a news article kind of goes viral through Newsbreak.
Yeah, absolutely. So Newsbreak is primarily a local centric tool. So it's great for you guys if you're writing yourselves too. Things get picked up by Newsbreak. They get syndicated to people in those local areas who are interested in different topics. So you can tag your article with up to 5 topics. We do that as well. So we might tag it personal finance, taxes, IRS, those sorts of things. Goes out to people who read that kind of content. We've seen articles on Newsbreak get literally hundreds of thousands of views for a single article. So if something really takes off, obviously the algorithm sees that it's taking off, shows it to even more people, just like you see something on Facebook or YouTube go viral. Similar concept, except it's just a news article rather than a video or a meme or what have you.
Yeah, and if you're writing for us and you're doing something that we feel is appropriate for the Newsbreak syndication, we'll actually load that article into the syndication. And then when Rebecca was saying there's a lot of a local tilt to it, that is a way that for those that want to focus on a region, a specific city, it's a great opportunity to create some content, perhaps newsworthy content that can really get a lot of eyeballs there. What was funny to me is one of the things that I find is I could tell very quickly, not just based on the page views, but more on the interaction of articles. So sometimes it doesn't matter if you have 500,000 views versus 50,000. If your 50,000 views has 1,500 comments from people, talking about the subject, I go, that's where the real power is, and a lot of real visibility there. So the basics of TaxBuzz. First of all, it starts with your firm profile. This is where you will set up your firm information, kind of your areas of expertise, your services, times, and then you can also start adding staff. So if people are going to write for you and be authors and utilize our self-publishing tools, that would be built in when you're setting up the firm profile. In addition, we want you to collect reviews. Reviews, again, do the selling for you. It's one of the best ways to boost your SEO. It's part of the algorithm when Google compares you to other brands. So just think of it this way. If there's 2 CPA firms across the street from each other, and all things being equal, one firm has a 3-star rating, but they only have 5 reviews. The firm across the street has 100 5-star reviews. Google's going to rank the 5-star reviews that has 100, okay? So that's why reviews are so important. It's kind of like the modern day word of mouth. So definitely, if you're not utilizing review marketing, you should. And then what's going to happen now is you're going to start capturing leads. So we have the Match Me program that will start sending qualified leads to you just directly into your inbox. The more proactive you are, the faster you follow up with your leads. Harvard did a big business study on it. And basically, if you can do that within 5 minutes of a lead coming in, the chances of them becoming a client are much, much bigger. So what we do is our job is to create content that will get ranked. We have been working very hard on building out our library. We now have 3 main sections of content. One is our news feed. Rebecca is one of our main writers for that. In addition to that, we have what's called our insights. That's where most of the articles written by our community of TaxBuzz subscribers will show up. And that can be anything from traditional kind of what we call evergreen content, where you're writing about a specific subject. Let's say you're working in the restaurant industry and you're talking about the best, whether you should use Toast or not as your credit card processing or kind of your point of purchase program. That would be a great article to put into insights. It will put you in its own little category, which is searched and indexed. So that's kind of the way we use the insights tool. In addition, we have our guides, which are right now it's 150 plus what we'll call content pillars, basically. And these are very comprehensive guides about specific topics. So we cover everything you can think of. We also will talk about with pros who want to perhaps come up with their own guides. That is an opportunity for our VIP clients only. So we have a lot of opportunities as far as content goes. And what this content does is it gets indexed. We have a high domain authority on TaxBuzz. You're going to have very focused traffic. So people that are looking for tax and accounting expertise in 2 ways. So think about it this way. One is someone is aware of a problem and using TaxBuzz to kind of research and read about it. And then from there, we take them into the intent side. So the idea is that we have a funnel that takes people both from the awareness stage and then finding an expert on our site and then say, hey, you know what? I want to connect with this expert. I want professional help. So that's kind of the way it works. So it starts by claiming your profile. You start collecting reviews and get your name in front of more prospects who trust TaxBuzz to find an accounting or tax professional. So the more reviews you have on TaxBuzz, the higher you're going to be in the algorithm results. And more importantly, from an organic SEO standpoint, you're also going to rank higher that way. So use reviews to build relationships with prospects and clients. So Rebecca, I've said it does the selling, but why is an authentic review so much more powerful perhaps than, like ad copy?
Yeah, absolutely. So from an SEO standpoint, which is where I always come at things from, basically reviews are great because they provide you with that social proof, and Google understands that that means people like you. So basically, the way I always explain it to clients is that anyone can spend thousands of dollars on a really great website. That just takes money. It's easy to make money, right? Like relatively, anyone can do it. What's a lot harder is to build a reputation that's going to get you those 5-star reviews. So Google reads things as ones and zeros, right? It's a computer, it's an algorithm. So at the end of the day, like you were saying, Lee, if there are two firms that are seemingly comparable, what it's going to look for is who has more social proof, who has more actual people who like it. Google is risk averse. They don't want to be promoting something that's terrible because then people aren't going to necessarily return to try to find services on Google, right? They might go to Yelp, they might go to Facebook, they might go to another platform if they stop trusting Google's results. So lots of 5-star reviews are a really good way for Google to feel safe recommending your firm to lots and lots of people.
And then we get into sell more and grow more without all the work. So one of the biggest challenges for tax and accounting firms, specifically your individual website right now, if you are a commodity player, a generalist, I will say, it is very difficult to compete against the thousands and thousands, you really tens of thousands of other professionals that are in your area or in your quote unquote generalist category. If you're a niche player, it's much easier, I would say, to build a website that's all about dentists. A virtual CFO services for dental firms is much easier to rank online, but there's still plenty of traffic. What's great about TaxBuzz and major brands, so anytime you Google right now, any sort of topic, what you'll see is most of the trust goes to the big brands. And that's what you're getting with TaxBuzz. So basically, you're taking advantage of our domain authority, our brand awareness, all the articles that Bloomberg and everyone else is writing about us. That helps your firm basically then stand out online. So every TaxBuzz profile includes the ability to collect leads every single month and basically daily. And we do QC the leads. So as the leads go through, we have a bunch of different kind of anti-bot technology, and then we manually review, not realize that not every lead is going to be perfect and might not be the perfect lead for you, but we do some due diligence and a human review before we release the leads to you. So what we have found is the more reviews you have and the more complete your profile is, so meaning tell me the niches you serve. Put those niches in your copy, the more likely you're going to rank above other firms, and both in our algorithm, but also with organic search from Google. So how Google indexes your own profile. If you are writing for us, all of those articles will also be included on your profile. So let's say you are that expat for Israeli people living in Israel expert, and they land on your profile and you have reviews from people who are clients who live in Israel and are doing expat taxes for, and you've written articles about that. Now you're really shown, that's like the double whammy, right? So you have social proof from the reviews, and now you're showing your thought leadership in the articles you have written. That is the beauty. That is the method that makes TaxBuzz so successful for our participating firms. So let's talk about the new TaxBuzz. We relaunched in, I think it's March now. We've been playing around and iterating and kind of improving it. And now we're ready to start kind of rolling it out and getting people re-engaged in it. So if you haven't been involved with TaxBuzz for a while, it's definitely time to go back and just check out taxbuzz.com. First thing you're going to notice is it's a very professionally designed site, super simple user experience interface for consumers getting in there, and it is loaded with content. So we have found some pretty good growth since our launch. So we're hoping we're going to get the hockey stick as we continue to get more community members writing for us. So first of all, check it out if you have not at this point. So it's set up to be a hub to allow tax and professionals like you to do what? So there's networking and brand awareness. And when I say networking, you can find other pros. So let's say you have a client you want to refer out, and you do need someone who's an expat tax professional. You can use our search tools to find people with 5-star reviews and create a relationship that now you have a referral source. Or let's say you need a bookkeeper. You can find maybe the best bookkeeper in your area. So that's one way to use it. Second one is thought leadership and public relations, PR. So we have services that allow you an opportunity. So you basically think of us as your PR firm, and we allow our professionals opportunities. Any media opportunities that are given to us, we then share those with our audience, our community. And if you leave a quote and the writer, the journalist thinks it's great and writes about you, guess what? You just got a citation on a major media website. That's golden when it comes to SEO. So we're all about thought leadership. The tax accounting space is built on trust, right? It's built on your reputation. So TaxBuzz is a tool to help you share your expertise. And then third is the nice addition is the lead generation side. So getting these Match Me leads, the better your profile, the more reviews you have, the more leads you're going to get. So network and brand awareness, and I'm going to let Rebecca kind of talk about some of this stuff too. But basically, 81% of consumers research businesses online. A lot of these things are topics that we've talked about, and it was funny, like 3 or 4 years, maybe 5 years ago, we would get pushback on reviews. Now everyone's like, oh, I need my reviews. And then, we'll get 100 reviews for them. And like, I want 100 more. So it's interesting. But TaxBuzz basically gives the pros the opportunity to own their narrative outside of their website. So explain why storytelling and the narrative outside the website kind of helps with the whole brand awareness, if you could, Rebecca.
Yeah, definitely. So I know if you've listened to any of our podcasts or webinars that I've been on before, I talk about this a lot, but it's really important to put yourself in the shoes of your consumer. So one thing that's really important in this day and age is consistency in your marketing and consistency in your branding. And you're the one better than anybody else who can control that and who knows what you want to present to the world. So by owning your narrative across the web, not only on your own website, you're really building a cohesive sort of profile for yourself that not only is really good from an SEO standpoint, because Google is going to love, okay, this person is presenting this story. They have these keywords on their website. They're also talking about these keywords on this other website, so on and so forth. It's going to connect all of those dots and build its own profile, so to speak, for you. But also from a user experience standpoint, you want people to see you consistently saying the same things over and over and driving those points home, because that's going to just build that trust that Lee was talking about. And the importance of that really can't be overstated in a space that is very crowded, very competitive, like tax and accounting.
Yeah, and it really holds true if you are niching down. We obviously talk about the importance of that. We're starting to see more and more professionals do that. But if you are utilizing a tool like TaxBuzz, and remember, our client is you. So we're not like a Yelp or someone else who puts you in an adversarial. We're just looking for basically you paying advertising for us. We're providing a service that opens up our platform to you, but we're not trying to push, I'm going to call expensive advertising campaigns through you. We're definitely more holistic when it comes to this. So what's great about it is if you can do that connection where you have a bunch of clients talking about, hopefully they're all related because you are a niche player, they're telling your story and your copy then resonates. And when someone does leave your profile and goes to your website, it's all consistent. It really reinforces why they should choose you. So let's talk a little bit about the profile and the admin. We've refreshed all of this, making it really super simple to add your bio content, your firm profiles, your images, your service focus, industry focus. So you definitely want to go to taxbuzz.com. If you're a current client, your username and password from CountingWorks Pro should work unless you've changed it in the last couple of months, but it will work on taxbuzz.com as well. And if you have any difficulties, just reach out to our help@countingworkspro.com email and just say, hey, I'm having issues logging in. This is who I am, and we'll help you out. But first of all, the platform makes it easy for you to edit your business info, select your niche, post articles, and build a community. So the idea is that we want you to be publishing articles in our network. Doing this is really going to help you stand out. And I think it's the difference between what I'll call a yellow pages static directory listing and a real value added. So Google's going to look at, wow, this is more than just a directory. there's, real content behind this that's unique. And if you start adding those articles as well, I think it's going to be huge. So benefits, 88% of consumers read reviews online before working with a business. So with TaxBuzz, you can easily build social proof through reviews. View and reply reviews. So we do have the ability to kind of manage your reputation through the system. And display reviews, we have a widget that you can embed on your website. We 100% say you should be showing your reviews on your website. And Rebecca, explain, with our VIP clients, when we're setting them up, when a user is looking at a firm, we try to tell a narrative with the copy and kind of position them with images. And then that third part, these reviews are like that last thing that gets that conversion. So I know when you're working with our clients, do most of our clients put reviews on now?
These days, yeah. I really probably in the last 6 to 9 months haven't had anybody who has not wanted reviews on their website. And I think people are just starting to understand more and more the importance of that social proof, like we've talked about, and seeing real people recommending these firms, because like you said, Lee, it's kind of today's word of mouth. And I think particularly post-COVID, when some people are just more socially isolated because maybe they're working from home, they're not out and about as much, these different things, web reviews have become increasingly important in directing people to all sorts of services, including financial services.
And you'll notice on this screen, we do have the TaxBuzz verified badge. This is for the professionals that are on our paid services that have successfully passed our background screening. It's just, there's 2 reasons we do it, or actually a couple of reasons, I guess. One is the consumer knows at least, hey, this person has a background check. We use a third party that does it. And I think that adds more credibility, more trust when a consumer is doing an online search on differentiating one firm from the other if they have it. But it's another signal to Google that, hey, this is a real person. Anytime you're talking about your money, your life kind of issues, Google's going to look at the type of content much more closely. By adding this kind of due diligence behind our platform, I think it really adds to the trust signals that we're sending to Google as well. So now we're talking about thought leadership and public relations. I think this is one of the biggest unused tools in the industry. And again, what is thought leadership? Thought leadership is the process of establishing oneself as an authoritative and influential figure by sharing innovative ideas and insights with a specific industry, within a specific industry or field. And what this means, and I'm going to give an example, is you're a CPA and there's a particular competitor who's always being quoted. They are their articles, or they have guest posts on Forbes or whatever it is. And you're looking at them going, I know as much as that person. Why are they getting found and looked at as an expert? And think of it as influencers on social media. Sometimes there's a lot of kind of faux people, but guess what? They're utilizing the technology, they're utilizing the methods to become thought leaders. And because of that, it's a perceived advantage over you. You will be losing business to people that are perceived thought leaders, specifically in local side. So local markets is one. And then if you're doing any sort of niche related, let's say you're doing e-commerce work and you are not thought, you don't have a bunch of followers on your social sites. You're not getting quoted. You're not blogging a bunch. You're not going to become a thought leader. And that's going to translate into lower SEO results and, more importantly, less conversion from consumers. So what is kind of the psychology behind it, Rebecca, as far as a consumer, when they see, someone who's a thought leader versus someone who's not, and then decide who they're going to work with, and more importantly, how much are they going to pay to work with that person?
Right. So I think a lot of it goes back to just the modern era, like you were talking about, Lee. Influencer culture is huge. Celebrity culture is huge. And in a way, being a thought leader within any industry kind of makes you a celebrity, quote unquote, within that world. And so if people are seeing a particular name over and over, whether it's on social media or if it's on, maybe they're being featured, like you said, in Forbes and Business Insider and Go Banking Rates or whatever it is, the more they are quoted, the more they're coming up, the more people are doing research and they're seeing this one person, it's going to kind of stick in their brains, right? Just like if you're researching makeup and you see a particular influencer over and over pushing products at you, you're likely to use one of their affiliate links. Same concept. If you keep seeing a tax professional repeatedly and you need a service that they offer, the odds are good that you're going to go with the person who's top of mind because you're seeing them and that makes you think they know what they're talking about. If Insider trusts them, if Forbes trusts them, why on earth shouldn't you? So the more you promote yourself, the more you develop your thought leadership online, the better chance you have of landing high-paying clients because they're going to trust that if these outlets trust you, they can trust you too, and the price isn't going to matter as much.
Yeah, and I think even more importantly, when you a referral source, for example, Google's your name, and now you have your website, you have TaxBuzz, you got Google profiles, and now you have a couple articles that you've written in TaxBuzz, and or you were quoted in one of our PR opportunities on, the banking rates. That's really going to resonate. That's going to like nail it. They're going to be pre-sold and ready to talk about, signing up. So TaxBuzz allows pros to position themselves as thought leaders in today's market through blogging packages. So in our insights areas, you'll see most of our professionals who have written for us. And there is anything in the tax and accounting space, you can, personal finance issues as well, you can 100% write for us and be showcased in our feeds, on our homepage, on our search results. So I think it's a really great tool that allows you to really get in there. So we have two different ways. We have news or insights. Insights is thought leadership pieces about local or niche topics. To me, this is what we call evergreen content. So meaning versus a news article. So a news article is today, the Supreme Court came out and said the student loan forgiveness is not going to happen. Okay, so that is a news piece. We would write about that because that obviously affects people's finances. That is pertinent to the tax industry. That would be a news-related article versus an evergreen article be something about, how to read an income statement. Okay, so that is an evergreen, meaning that that article is not part of the news cycle. It will get indexed and it can be indexed for a long time and readers can read it over a long period of time. So there's two different versions of it. I think I've explained that well. Anything you want to add there, Rebecca?
Yeah, I think so. Basically, evergreen is something that if you think about it, someone might be searching in 5 years. Like it's something that's going to last. People still are going to want tips about. So yeah, exactly what you said, Lee.
Yeah. And the beauty of it is evergreen content delivers for a long period of time. So once you have 10, 20 articles and they're indexed on page one, that's going to be, it's like recurring revenue. So it's one investment of time writing the article and then a long period of time for benefits.
And I think one more thing to add to that is something I talk about with people a lot is the benefit of writing evergreen content versus paid advertising, like doing a pay per click campaign. Evergreen content is going to deliver for such a long time, and it's going to be organic. It's going to be something that builds trust with clients. PPC tends to be very quick. Once it's gone, it's gone. A lot of people don't trust it anymore. So if you're down to one or the other, I almost always recommend that people go with writing and posting these blog posts, getting your content out there. That's going to have so much more of a benefit for you over a period of time than doing just a quick hit.
Right. Well, the quick hit too, if you want to continue the quick hit, you got to keep paying Google. And Google is one of the most valuable companies in the world for a reason, because people are to keep feeding them. And it'd be much nicer to put that investment in time and write an article like Julie Farless did on the AZ Prop 130, showing up in Google, showing up in TaxBuzz, and getting traffic directly from here. So there's a ton of different benefits. So contributing to niche topics on TaxBuzz can lead to increased profile and site traffic, increased search engine visibility, and increased brand recognition. That is our goal. It also makes you the go-to expert, right? So contribute your thoughts on local topics, establish you as your community's go-to expert. So there's a couple of ways to utilize this. If you are what I'll call a generalist and working, let's say like Spencer Wilson is in the Long Beach area, he's writing about issues affecting Long Beach. Guess what? Locals are Googling these issues. And if it's tax and financial or personal finance related, guess who's showing up? Spencer Wilson. That builds really big thought leadership possibilities and makes you the go-to expert, right? So if people consistently keep seeing you and you are the expert, guess who they're going to call when they need you, right? Covering timely news makes you as a valuable source to consumers and establishes you as an authority in your industry. We find news is interesting. You know, it's hit and miss. Sometimes you write articles that you think are the greatest thing ever, and there's very little activity on it. And other times you hit something that just goes viral. So what we say is iterate and, you know, try a bunch of different topics to see what will work for you and just keep at it. So let's talk about lead generation. So when you are a contributor to TaxBuzz, so you're part of the community, we do have the goal here is to get you leads and qualified leads for that. So what our system does is we have our Find a Pro, which is throughout the website. If someone is not a member of our program, we actually utilize some of that traffic to bring leads in as well. So someone might land on someone's profile that isn't claimed, and they might say, hey, let me try this tool out and let me find somebody that is actually verified. Let me find someone with reviews. It will be an easy way that you can start gaining a lot of new clients. So we have a ton of traffic. We're really building out on this side. So it's definitely the idea is to try to get you as much traffic as possible. So we call it Match Me. And we had it before during the launch. We left it off for a little bit and we found very quickly, wow, it really was working. We had a bunch of clients. I had a client in New York who's getting, you know, I think they had like 350 leads, a lot of really good quality leads. And they were getting all these leads basically almost for free because it's a very low cost lead generation service. So definitely the better your profile is, the more reviews you have. If you are a Accounting Works Pro client, all of those add to the algorithm that will help you get showcased more and more. So the way it works is, you know, what location are you in? What type of services you're looking for? We collect some basic information, notes for the professional that will be shared with you. And then we'll give them a bunch of results back. And at that point, you'll get an email that says, hey, a new prospect is looking for payroll and HR services in San Jose, California, and these are the notes to you. So I still say the faster you respond, the better, okay? So we're going to talk about some things that are experimental at this point and try to explain to you kind of what we're doing. So we currently have ChatGPT and an AI tool learning on our ecosystem. So everybody that writes in the TaxBuzz community, all this content is loaded into our version of ChatGPT. So we're using OpenAI basically as kind of the underlying technology. And we'll always, you know, if it's not ChatGPT, we use something else. We'll always use what we call best in class. But basically, we're taking all the intelligence that is there and then all of the articles and content that are created on TaxBuzz and throwing it into a much smarter, trusted version of ChatGPT. So one of the challenges with all of these tools is, one, it makes a lot of mistakes. And two, it's trusting based on kind of the old way of Google doing it, like what is the correct content, what is not. So what we have done is we have reviewed obviously all the content. People in our VIP programs and the higher memberships I'm writing will actually review your text in articles as well. So we'll do a technical review for you. And in our ChatGPT, so in our search engine, and it's kind of experimental, we're hiding it from the world. At some point, you'll see TaxBuzz AI on the interface. And what we do then is we are providing instant answers. So our I guess, proprietary database is answering consumers' questions. We are showcasing professionals that have updated their profiles based on the topic they're asking about. So if someone's asking about 529 plans, for example, we are going to look into our database of professionals and our signals that say, this firm helps with 529 or has written articles about 529. We will actually promote you as the expert below the answer that our AI generates, okay? So do you have additional questions about this topic? You want to get help now? Click here and they'll send them directly. Basically, it's another lead generation source. So if you are writing for us and you are showcased here, this is another lead generation option. In addition, what we're doing is we're human verifying in a manual process the questions that come through. So as questions come through the TaxBuzz AI, they go into a queue. Our technical support team will look at them. it will go through, make sure all the citations are correct, make sure the answers are correct, and we will then publish that to a standalone kind of landing page. And then we will showcase, our algorithm knows to showcase professionals have written about the topic that the question was asked about. So let's go back to real estate, point of purchase systems, and you wrote about toast, for example, and someone asked, is toast the best, blah, 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 for restaurants? Our AI goes through, we come back with an answer. On that landing page, your articles will also be showcased to the side of our human fact-checked answers for AI. So we believe AI is a tool. It is not necessarily a standalone replacement for expertise, experience, but it is a powerful tool because it can access huge amounts of data very quickly. So it can find answers very quickly, and then throwing in that human side to verify it has really been powerful. I've written a bunch about ChatGPT. I had an article in Accounting Today published. We have one coming up in CPA Journal. We had the Bloomberg article that was also, so there's a bunch of different, opportunities to kind of read about what I think about ChatGPT and kind of how to use it as a tool for tax and accounting pros. So if you Google my name and ChatGPT, you'll find a bunch of different articles and things that I've talked about. But we are building this into TaxBuzz, and at some point we're going to build the same tool into the Accounting Works Pro platform. So basically you'll be writing email responses to your clients. It could write blog articles. We've loaded like 3,000 different articles that we've written. So once this AI tool is available, we'll start integrated into our other platform as well. So we're teaching it right now. So it's not perfect, but we're definitely getting a lot of good activity for it. So we're really excited with where we are going with this. So how will it work? AI is powered by a combination of open source machine learning model paired with human content developed by our vetted community professionals, which is you. So what I'm saying to you is when you write for TaxBuzz, you are actually part of training our AI. And with that, as more and more consumers use our tool, the more opportunities for your practice to be showcased. So I think this is a powerful kind of answer to the problems and pitfalls of using AI. And with our human experts and the expertise of our humans, we're going to be able to match you with a lot of opportunities for work and thought leadership positions that that just doesn't exist today. So this is somewhat of a game changer in the way the industry will work. So when I say write for us, if you are already a subscriber and you have a quota, you can write a certain amount of articles, start writing. Start getting your name out there. The early adopters are going to get the best results. So definitely do that. If you're new to TaxBuzz and Accounting Works Pro, definitely get in there, look at our different packages and start brainstorming kind of ways that you can stand out in our thought leadership side. As our AI community continues to feed TaxBuzz content, the AI will learn and produce the most accurate tax advice. So again, we are feeding it over and over again. So and it's getting smarter and smarter. I mean, I know, what was it? The Facebook CTO, I think, called AI as smart as a dog right now. And on certain things, it is brilliant. It is just rolls through things. On other things, especially tax-related stuff or law-related stuff, it needs a lot more work on learning things. And that's why what's great is like all our guides they're teaching our AI. And think about it, our guides in itself is like the cliff notes of the tax code. And we've loaded IRS publications in there. We've actually loaded the tax code in there. So we're definitely going to continue to build this out and get it smarter and smarter as we go. So the benefits here are lead generation, more exposure, more name recognition, and the opportunity to be an early adopter of something truly new. We think we are leading the way, leading the path to the future of the tax accounting space. And we want our subscribers to have a competitive advantage. What we're doing is, yes, revolutionary, I guess, on some respects on the way the traditional tax and accounting firms work, but we are positive that there is enough early adopters and there's consumer demand that will really drive our growth as we go. So we're hopeful that you guys are ready to get started. So if you have not logged in lately, you need to. So as a VIP, you'll get the following: the ability to write blog content that will be included on the TaxBuzz feed with the potential to be seen by millions of consumers and fellow professionals, greater exposure and SEO domain authority, boosting your position in search results, And then we're giving you the essentials package. This is, again, is CountingWorks Pro VIPs. This is what this webinar is geared for. It's a $600 a year value. We're giving it to you for free. We've already loaded you guys in at that level. So just log into taxbuzz.com. And not only that, as a VIP subscriber, you get preferred placement on our algorithm and the TaxBuzz AI. So real quick, if you are not currently a client, we have 3 different packages. We're actually going to load a new one once the AI is out of what I'll call alpha. It'll probably be like in 1995 and it'll allow you to do tax research, write blog articles for you, write email responses, things like that. So there's a lot of things that it will be able to do based on our library, not just what ChatGPT, for example, is learned on so far. So you can do the free option, which is just the basic profile. $50 a month gives you the ability to do 6 articles per year, or you can become a thought leader, which is $100 a month. And there you can get a lot more exposure and add more authors too. I think we charge $25 per additional author as you go. So a lot of fun stuff coming here as far as TaxBuzz and how we're using that tool. So get started in 2 easy steps. Step 1, log into taxbuzz.com profile and update your preferences. Use your existing CountingWorks Pro login credentials. So we moved everyone's credentials from when we launched, and I'm going to say in March. So if you've changed your login from there, you're going to need some assistance, probably resetting your password. The email that you use on your CountingWorks Pro, though, is the same thing. So you could use forget password. Step 2 is write your first thought leadership blog article, click publish, and let the expertise and SEO authorities start building. As always, if you have questions, reach out to our team at help@countingworkspro.com. Specifically, if you have issues logging in, ask people when you're talking to your VIP meetings, what do you guys, if you want to talk over strategies on how to, go after a specific niche or strategies on creating content, what are the best ways to do it? What are the tools to do it? Remember, as a VIP, we have all these different get quoted PR. We have the creative briefs. We have a lot of different ways that you can become a thought leader. So I want to thank you for joining us today. I hope this is a good overview of how to use TaxBuzz to build your expertise even more. What we have found is the pros that are active on it are ranking really, really high. So there's definitely an SEO boost to your main website as well. And then again, clients like our one in New York that was getting 300 or 400 leads a year, that's golden. Those cost $20 each now on Google. So you can do the math, 300 times 10. All right. So this is a pretty good deal. So hopefully you guys will take advantage of it. Rebecca, is there anything that I missed today?
No, I think everything was great. If you have questions, feel free to schedule with me or my team. We would love to talk to you, give you some ideas. If you need content ideas, anything like that, we're here to help.
All right. Thank you for joining us. We'll look at for you to be on our next one. Thank you.